So guys, for some reason Firefox doesn't want to seem to go full screen on me, so I apologise for the tabs up the top. Hey babe, on the bright side you get to see what videos I'm about to make. But yeah, apart from that, I tried running a registry queen, nothing seems to work. I'll have a look at it later. I'm already running behind on schedule. Let's jump into this. Smallville star confesses she sold children to Rothchilds and Clintons. Why are we not hearing about this on the mainstream media? I have no idea why. Let's jump into it. Smallville star Allison Mack has confessed that she sold children to Rothchilds and Clintons during her time in the child sex cult. According to police, Allison Mack worked as a senior management position for the Hollywood pedophile cult NXIVM, a second in command. It was her job to lure children into the cult in order to sell them to the elite Hollywood pedophiles and powerful politicians. You know this video is not going to be pushed. The freethoughtproject.com reports, as alleged in the indictment, Allison Mack recruited women to join what was purportedly a female mentorship group that was, in fact, created and led by Keith Rayner. The victims were then exploited both sexually and for their labor to defendants' benefit. U.S. Attorney Richard P. Donahue said in a statement. I might be getting that name wrong, excuse me. The cult was finally exposed when daughter of former Dynasty actress Catherine Oxburn became a member. Oxburn told the New York Times that she became concerned after she saw that her 26-year-old daughter, India, was extremely emancipated from dieting and was suffering from serious health problems. Some people have said that this is a voluntary sorority. The women I spoke to tell a far different story. Oxburn said, coercion is not voluntary, extortion is not voluntary, blackmail is not voluntary. So what are they talking about there? Reportedly what they do in the cult, or the group, is that they go through and they actually let you do sexual acts on things. So, they might start something as simple as playing with a dildo or something along those lines. Don't worry, this video is not going to be monetized whatsoever, so I can go full out on this one. They would record you doing that, and then they would use that to then blackmail you to do further, and it would just be a simple progression. For example, there were reports, I don't know how true they are, but there were reports. People were actually going through and were actually being blackmailed into sleeping with animals. They were being recorded for doing that, and then they would use that blackmail evidence to get you to do things. So, for example, if you're a judge on the court, they might be able to go through and say, well, hey, you're a judge, we need this case thrown out. Here's the evidence of you sleeping with a horse, for example, and we want this case thrown out. And the judge would then have to do it because she doesn't want the evidence leaked. Or, for example, if it's a guy, he might go to a party, hook up with a girl. The legal age might be 21. He might think that she's 22, sleeps with her, and then the next day they've got the recording. They say, hey, surprise, this girl is underage. You're a police officer. This person we want to be acquitted of all charges. And they would use these sort of blackmail to allow them to benefit and to keep growing or to get away with stuff or whatever it may be. Now, that's the alleged incident. That's what allegedly happened. Obviously, we're all running off third-hand information here. I just want to say that. But, yeah, I do think this actually happened with the amount of stuff this guy got away with. There definitely were something funky going on, I reckon, in the past. When these accusations hit the news, other women, including actress Sarah Anderson, I might be mispronouncing, came forward to tell the same story of blackmail, the branding, as well as the forced labour and forced sexual activity. We do have that video. It is 11 minutes long. We will put a link to that in the description below. Rayner is also accused of having a history of pedophilia with accusations that stretch back over 20 years, involving girls as young as 12. I don't think this guy is the mastermind. If you're asking my personal opinion, no, I do not think he is actually a mastermind of this. I think he is the useful idiot. He is the facehead. He is the PR. he is the guy that everybody looks at, and he probably likes the attention. So yeah, I don't think that he's actually in charge of it. In 2012, several women were interviewed by the Albany Times Union about the coercive sexual experiences they had with Rayner when they were young girls. One of the women in the case was found dead of a gunshot before she was able to give the interview. Let me guess, she suicided twice in the back of the head. Her death was ruled as suicide. Really? That's not conspicuous to you at all. The US Attorney's Office requested to have Rayner held without bail in a letter to the court stating that he was a known child predator. Although it is extremely important, the detail has been left out of most mainstream reports. One of the main charges in the criminal indictment against Rayner and Mack is sex trafficking of children. Holy dooly. A quick search of Mack's arrest, reports or charges reportedly by the mainstream media will not yield any mention of children. Most mainstream reports only mention sex trafficking and obviously admit the charges were for sex trafficking of children. Exactly why the media is refusing to report this remains a mystery. Oh, no, it's not. We know why they're not reporting on this, don't we? Another important aspect of the case has been largely overlooked is the connection this organisation has to high-level figures in politics and finance. The organisation worked much as a pyramid scheme, collecting regular fees from its members. But the majority of the funding, over $150 million, came from trusted funds of Seagrams Harris, Sarah and Claremont Bomfundman. I don't know that name, but yeah. Their involvement with Rayner began in 2002 and is very public and controversial, with other members of the Bomfund family distancing themselves from the sisters in the press. The Bomfund family has very close ties to the Rothschild banking dynasty. There's a friggin' shock for you. The members of both families belonging to many of the same companies, including the joint financial firm Bomfund and Rothschilds. Is anybody surprised by this at all? Additionally, at least 3 high-ranking members of the organisation, including Nancy Salzman and the Bonfire sisters, are members of Bill Clinton's foundation. It's like we said this 18 months ago, 2 years ago. The Clinton Global Initiative, which requires an annual $15,000 membership fee. Now that Rayner is in jail and Mack is on bail and ordered not to have any contact with other cult members, Claire Bomfund has taken the role of the leader within the organisation. In response to the recent controversy surrounding NXIVM, Bronfman made a statement on her website denying the accusations against Rayner. She praised Rayner and the NXIVM programs, insisting that she is doing the work that is truly helping people with blue balls, and no one has ever been coerced as a part of their workshops. Frank Palladdo, a former NXIVM publicist turned whistleblower, told the New York Post that Bomfund is among the harshest leaders in the organizations. Yeah, I didn't think Rayner was the head of this, to be honest. I really don't. I think it's just PR. She is the enforcer. She's the brutal one. Claire's running the operation now and is the most ruthless of them. I'm issuing an absolute warning now. Claire Bomfund, a true fanatic, if there's a Jim Jones situation, everyone will commit suicide but her, Pardo said. Of Alison Mack, Pardo said that she was a troubled woman who was both a victim and an abuser. Mack was both a victim and a victimizer. She was both mastermind and Rayner's useful idiot. She started as a slave and she became a slave master. Her nickname among defectors is Pimp Mac, Pardo said. Sometimes in certain situations, the actual person who's the victim will actually become the victimizer or will actually continue the cycle. So yeah, that does actually make sense that she has been exposed to this, and her way of dealing with it, or whatever it may be, is to go through and actually start the abuse cycle over again. It's a way of claiming power, I suppose, over people when they didn't have any power in the past. It is highly possible this is a position that Mack was groomed for since she was a child, as many childhood stars turn from victims to predators as a result of what they often experience behind the scenes in the industry. Oddly enough, one of Mac's very first roles was in a softcore porn movie called Nice Eyes 3. She was just 11 years old at the time. Holy dooly. Below you can see the full charges against Mac and Raina here. So, this is the actual legal criminal docket for it. So here's the pending counts. The first one is sex trafficking of children or by force, fraud or coercion. The second one is conspiracy to commit sex trafficking of children by force, fraud or coercion. And the third one is attempt to establish penalty, slavery, involuntary servitude or human trafficking. Holy dooly. This is Alison Max now. And she has been charged with sex trafficking of children by force or fraud, conspiracy to commit sex trafficking of children by force or fraud, and the third one by attempting to establish penalty, I might be mispronouncing that, slavery involving servitude, human trafficking. So, yeah. Won't see that on the mainstream media. Guys, what's the takeaway from all this? Well, look, if you believe what QAnon has been saying about this over the past few days or week or so, he is actually saying that Alison Mack is actually naming names and giving details. She is cooperating. So hopefully that'll happen. But as for this, look, yeah, I believe this. I really do. This is Pizzagate. It really is, or Pedogate, whatever you want to call it. It's the start of it, and no one that's been following this is actually surprised. You know, the mainstream media tried to hijack Pedogate, Pizzagate, by going on about that pizza shop. It's not just that, okay? That's not about that. It's bigger than that, and them trying to focus on that was, I believe, a diversion. As for this, yeah, I believe this. I believe these charges, and I believe mainstream media won't report on it because of who they're linked to. You know, even if they can't bring up charges on Rothschilds or Clintons or anything like that, they still have links to them, and that does not look good. So, yeah. I don't know, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Do you believe that Mac is actually going to roll on Raina? Do you believe we actually might find out more details regarding this? Or do you think it's just going to be washed over and no one will really talk about it? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Also, if this video has been helpful, please smack a like. I'm going to ask you, look, this is not obviously going to be pushed by YouTube. Please share it everywhere you can. Because, like I say, yeah, this will not be talked about. This will not be talked about on mainstream media, and YouTube will not be recommending this video to anybody or sending out emails. So, please remember to do that. And apart from that, guys, obviously, if you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell. Apart from that, guys, I'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great day and enjoy.